So even though it's still kind of light out right now, I've decided that to put my candles on, because we're doing this right now in honor of Earth Hour. And for those of you who don't know what Earth Hour is, it is the WWF and partners in about 2007 in Sydney. Now, that is not Sydney, BC, that was Sydney, Australia, that started one of the largest grassroots movements for the environment. So everybody today at 8:30 p.m., wherever you are in the world, that's when you do this. So it's 5:30 here right now in BC. So I'm doing this a little bit early, but I'm still going to keep all of my candles on. For those of you who know me personally, I love the ambiance that that candles bring. So I'm keeping my lights off tonight, keeping my candles on. So I just really appreciate and thank you all for joining me here today. Wow, I have to tell you, we are living in a really unprecedented time. And I know it's scary. And there's so many reasons, though, for us as well to be grateful. You know, I was thinking this morning when I was journaling, back on New Year's Eve, 2019, I journal. And I just would like to say thank you, Tony Robbins, for 25 years ago telling me personally that if my life is worth living, it is worth recording. So I now have about 25 years. I call it my tickle trunk, and I put all of my my journals. And I was journaling on New Year's Eve, wondering what 2020 was going to have in store. And I have to tell you, I did not, for 2020, envision this. I can't imagine any of us did. And in fact, for me, in November of 2019, I had hired a CFO, Deb Cullen, who was absolutely amazing. And then in December, I decided, oh, we have to stop touching our faces, people. I had decided to step aside as CEO. And of course, I'm still the founder, and I am still the executive chairman or chairwoman of the board. And I hired just a brilliant CEO, Doug Wilmore. And Doug is so amazing. He's able and going to take us to the next level of this massive explosive growth that World Tree has had. But you know what? That was part of my whole plan for 2020, was to create balance. And you know, I have been working for the last 18 years on World Tree. I have been working so hard, and it was go, 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 nonstop, you know, flying here, flying there, and going to conferences and meetings, and just creating this company that I am so blessed that World Tree is today. And I was looking forward to 2020 with bringing on these extra team members so that I could take a little me time. Careful what you wish for. I have lots of me time now. And in fact, it landed for me, I like to say it that way, it landed for me like I just needed to take time to breathe. However, I'm going to be honest that this is not what I wanted. But I am open to the possibility that this is in fact what I needed. And I can't help but wonder if it's also what Mother Nature needed. You know, it's interesting that this global pandemic that we're dealing with right now is a respiratory virus. I just have this feeling, you know, being as connected as I am to trees, I just had this feeling that she couldn't breathe anymore. So I want to just take the time here to say that even though we're all going through really trying times, I would like this to be an opportunity for us to step back and just like breathe. In fact, do it all with me together right now. Okay, all together. Okay, ready? Wow. Doesn't that feel good? Hashtag breathe. And in fact, you know what? One of the things that we're doing right now is for us to be able to flatten the curve, as the word is out there, we have to stay apart. So I'm calling this hashtag together/apart. And I can't help but wonder if I was sitting on Oprah's couch right now doing Super Soul Sunday, she would go, that's a tweetable moment. Hashtag together apart. One of the things that we do, and how do I put this? When we take a deep breath, one of the fastest ways to make progress in managing fears is to breathe. And I feel that one of the best ways that we can do this is to stop, take deep breaths, and do as much possible self-care as we can for each other. It's the only way we're going to be able to help our family. It's the only way we're going to be able to help our friends, is by looking actually, in fact, after ourselves too. So I think I have a few more. Now let me see if I can get, I'm trying to see, I can't seem to see if there are people up here making mention. So that's the only thing that's not going on as well with this, is that I can't see who all is showing up. So, so I'm just going to talk through it. Sorry if I can't see you, but thank you. Please send thumbs up, send hearts, send what you can to let me know you're there. And I'm sorry not being able to see where you are actually saying something. Oh, thank you, Andrea. I saw a hello. So they're starting to pop up. This is great. Thank you. So what? Oh, and Nicholas, thank you as well. I thought I at once saw Sandra there. I was talking to a girlfriend today, and this is how we're going to do this. We have to be socially distant for each other. And when I was talking to my friend Lisa today, she told me this really, really great story about, and I'm not sure if it was a podcast she was watching, but she said that this doctor had come on and talked about being in a bubble. Maybe some of you have heard about this. So in your sphere, okay, is whoever you're isolating with, is it you and your family? Then that's your bubble. And everybody else, they're all in their bubbles. But when somebody comes to visit you, that's going to burst your bubble. Just like if you're going out there and visiting somebody else and not being careful, that could burst their bubble. And when we burst each other's bubbles, that's when we're not going to be careful and protected. So you can go for a walk. You can stay 6 feet apart. That way you don't burst each other's bubble. There was something about it today when Lisa and I were talking that just really resonated with me. And it's got to resonate as well with, for all the single people in the world, we're alone, so going out and doing stuff, that's our sanity. So our sanity right now is compromised, I have no doubt. So some of the things that we can do is do this sort of thing right now, like just get connected, tell everybody what's going on in your world. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not know what the future holds, because none of us really do. We've never been here before. So I just would like to say a couple of things that I've done. Yoga. So because my grandchildren aren't with me right now, they're at home. And Caden, the other, I guess was Wednesday night, Caden decided to lead his own version of yoga. So we got on FaceTime and everybody got down and we did our yoga. It was Mario and Luigi inspired yoga. I have to admit, though, there was a lot of jumping going on that Nanny didn't do. And last night, it was Carter's turn to lead a yoga, and he did a Jack and the Beanstalk because he knows that Nanny loves trees. And he also knows that trees are the lungs Leaves are the lungs of our planet. I've said this 1,000 times. And so we really do, people have to start looking after the lungs here and the lungs of our planet. Let's see if I can see a few other people here. Let's see. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I think as an idea for us to all let each other know that we're out there, we're listening, we have to let Mother Nature know that we are on her side. And I love it whenever there's a crisis, because we're in crisis, we really are. Whenever there is a crisis, humanity shows up. Like, I take a look on my Facebook and the amount of people just here in Sydney that are going, hey, if there's any seniors that need, your groceries picked up or your prescriptions, or you need your doggy to go for a walk, people are reaching out and helping each other. And so thank you so much for doing that. Oh, Cindy, how lovely to see you here. Oh, I just made my heart happy. And so doing those types of things. So here's what I think that we should do. Let's create a global revolution. And we're calling it the eco revolution, but it's going to be #hug a tree. Now, I'm only going to suggest this to you people if you have the ability to go out there in the world, in nature, when it's safe. So let's just, for the next 2 weeks, if you can go for a walk where you're by yourself, go hug a tree, and then I want you to post that picture. Post it to our Facebook page, post it to my page, post it to your own feed, tag me, do #hug a tree. And let's just have all around the world people out there hugging trees and thanking Mother Nature for the very air we get to breathe. I don't know about you. Have you guys seen some of the space satellite imagery of the pollution that started to dissipate? And I know that there are so many people out there that are no longer working in those factories, and people have lost their jobs, and they don't know where their next meal is, or they can't pay their rent. So hug up all of those people too. But for all of us to be able to breathe together, we need to go thank a tree, and we need to go hug one. So #, and of course, my favorite tree in the whole wide world is the empress tree that draws down carbon more than any other tree. And I want to thank our farmers out there. By the way, farmers kind of self-isolate themselves because they're out on these big, beautiful farms. So I just want to let you know, all of our farmers are still, this is planting season for them. And so far, everybody is safe. Everybody on our World Tree team is safe. We're doing a whole bunch of FaceTime. So it's really time, people, that we awaken the hope for our future in each one of us again. Let's have hope for the future, okay? So my 15 minutes is almost up. Thank you so much for letting me come into your home today. I really appreciate it. I send hugs, prayers out to every single person out there, and in yoga, I've learned we all have to say namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, and I look forward to coming back on here again. Bye-bye.